A refreshing change to be down here for a session at the beach.
Yeah, it's good. Later in the week, good to freshen up and change the environment. It's good the guys can get in the water and before we head off to Adelaide today.
What's the feeling amongst the team at the moment?
Yeah, we're really positive at the moment. We had a good result on the weekend. Could have capitalised a little bit more on some opportunities, but for the most part, our role was much improved. Reflecting on the week before against Carlton, where we didn't get a lot of things right, so it was good to respond.
How do you feel about the tall forward line setup of late?
Yeah, I think on the weekend definitely took some pressure off myself with Josh Tracy coming in. He was able to provide a great contest and took some running pressure off me. And again, getting Rory in, he's a great asset for our team. He's a damaging forward, and he can play his time in the ruck and really sort of work his opponent over. So it's exciting to have them both in the team. Do
you think there's a potential to be a real force of a tall forward line there?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've had some good results playing a pretty tall forward line with previously in previous seasons with Rory and Jesse. But looking into this week, we've got Sean, who played a really good game, who played predominantly forward, but him going back into the ruck and allowing Rory to come back in, it'll be a really good, scary proposition, I think.
And what a recovery for Rory! How pleased are you to have him back so quickly?
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, great recovery. Apparently, he doesn't swell too much. So, I think it was 6 or 7 weeks when it was. Initially they thought maybe 8 to 10. So, to get him back this quickly, must have been doing a lot of stuff right in rehab.
Can you just touch a little bit more, Matt, on Rory coming back in? How much does it free up your role to, say, either push up the ground or just become less of a focal point, given that you have another tall there?
Yeah, if you look back probably a month ago, we were really lacking sort of another tall forward at the time with injuries and Josh having a suspension. So, it takes a lot of pressure off, running wise and the time I have to spend on the ground as well. So, I'll be really thankful for that, and it just means that you can have a bit more energy at the contest and explosiveness. So we've worked together, and we'll try and isolate and allow each other some space. But yeah, there'll be times that Rory goes in the ruck, and having Josh be able to play that other sort of tall forward as well was really helpful.
Sounds like Lloyd Meek's probably going to miss out. He's probably a little bit stiff, do you think?
I thought his competitiveness in the last few games were first class. He's probably subbed. He didn't play a lot of game time on the weekend, but when he came on, I thought his centre square bounce was terrific and gave our midfield first use. So he'll go back and work on his game, and I'm sure he'll respond.
Do you think moving forward, Sean Darcy is the team's number one ruckman with yourself and Rory as your two main men up front?
Nothing's set in stone. It'll be sort of, it'll be in a state of flux. I think Sean showed the ability to play some really good minutes down the forward line. I thought the GWS game and obviously last week he hit the scoreboard with 3 goals. But I'm sure in the ruck he can still, push forward and make an impact, whether it be marking it or bringing it to the ground. So that's what we'll go for in the immediate future. But, things change, injuries happen. So just the flexibility our forwards can give us, whether they have to play ruck or forward, is a great asset.
You mentioned it before, having another tall in the team, getting a little bit more rest, because 4 rounds in, your back was a little bit sore. How are you coping? How is your body feeling now?
Yeah, feeling better every week. Sort of coming off a limited pre-season with a sort of quad injury. Thought, I struggled a little bit in the pre-season games with the fitness base, and then, I had a little episode with my back, which I've sort of managed through my career, but flared up a bit. But, it's improving every week, and every week I'm feeling better and better.
Adelaide have been a team that have probably surprised a lot of people, especially in the media, I suppose. You head to Adelaide, I think Fremantle are 1-8 at Adelaide Oval. I know it's probably a past record and JL probably hasn't spoke about it, but have you played at Adelaide Oval, and what is it about the venue that makes it hard to beat the Crows or Port there?
Yeah, it's a daunting sort of task. I think like the ground is a real cauldron for them, and it'll be a little similar to Carlton, as in the the crowd. There's 50,000 supporters against you, so it'll be a tough task, but I think we can play some good footy anywhere we go, and that's what you're going to have to do if you want to play finals football. You have to win away from home, and it's something we've sort of addressed this week, and we'll be looking to sort of put it into action. I thought the Melbourne game, our effort and stuff was not too bad, but our skill execution let us down. Whereas the Carlton game, we really went away from our sort of role, and we didn't sort of compete to the level we needed to, and that's something we'll be trying to address this week.
Have you felt that external noise about the away from home, talk about not being so good away from home? Have you felt that? Will that drive?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, it's sort of been a thing for the last couple of years. I think going into hubs last year was a good experience for the sort of younger guys, of travelling and getting wins, and we were able to do that. Like, I think late last year we flew the day of a game from Cairns to Gold Coast and put in a good performance. So we've got the ability to do it.
So that hub experience was a good thing for trying to work out that away.
Yeah, definitely.
Not being an issue, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I was saying, last year was a good experience. We travelled day of the game from Cairns to Gold Coast on a 2-hour flight and put in a really good performance. So we believe it can be done, and we'll really focus on preparation leading into the game, and really focusing on our role individually and as a team. So we'll be trying to get a good result over there.
Just on Nat Fyfe as well, who has obviously spent a bit of time forward in the opening rounds, what do you sort of expect his role to be with Lob back?
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty similar to what he's been doing. The GWS game, he played probably a lot more forward. But last week, I think the beauty of him is he can sort of win his football in the midfield and get scoring opportunities from the midfield. So I'm sure there'll be times where he rests up forward, but you'd think he'd probably spend majority of the time in the midfield.
Do you think he'll really be out though this weekend? We noticed half an hour after the game he was practicing his set shots after 6 behinds, and I thought that was an amazing vision that we saw there. Do you think he'll be out to sort of try and hit the goals this week though?
Yeah, I think the good thing is he got those opportunities in the first place, so I'll be happy he's getting those looks. Obviously it would bug him a little bit about the finishing, but as you said, he's put in plenty of work, and he's usually pretty accurate in front of goal. So
Griffin Logan, another one that could maybe, I suppose, come in this week. Is he the type of character that would sort of thrive on the challenge of, say, perhaps flying up on Taylor Walker, who's in pretty good form?
Yeah, definitely. He's a housemate of mine, so I've been geeing him up all week, and he's pretty excited, if he gets his opportunity. Last year we played Adelaide, and I think he was his best game of his career, where he sort of held Tex goalless, I think. So he's done a lot of work and had plenty of disappointment in the pre-season with sort of recurring hamstring injuries, but he played last week in the Waffle and got through unscathed, and he's done a heap of work that I've seen personally. So I'm really confident, as well as the coaches. If he comes in, he can play a really good role for us.